Hello, this is Dr. Roddy Ferguson, 2004 Olympian, four-time national judo champion, head coach of the Bahamas Judo Federation, and also owner of Tampa, Florida Judo. I would like to speak to you about something today. The International Judo Federation just came up with the new refereeing rules for 2013 to 2016. Right now, the rules are being tested, and they are not the exact rules as of right now. But if we look at the current trend or the previous trend from the last time the rules were changed, if they're testing something, they're testing it to put it in. They're not testing it to disapprove anything. Everything, in my opinion, is going to be approved. Here's what we have to get ready for in 2013. In terms of the referee and the judges being changed on the mat, judo is known for having two corner judges on the mat and one head referee on the mat, and then usually the judges confer with the referee, and if they all can agree, or if something isn't painfully or painstakingly clear, then they go over to the head referee table, where they have what's called the care system, which is a computerized system which looks at the match, and then they look at the video and they make a decision. The only problem that I had with the care system is the care system really only gives you one view of where the camera is. It's not like in the NFL where you have a 360-degree panoramic view. With the care system, even though you're going to look at the film, the camera is only giving you one angle. So it's really not giving you all four sides or the whole 360-degree spectrum of what occurred. So even looking at the video in judo doesn't really mean much. Sometimes the referee who was in the corner had a better view or a better viewing angle than that what you got from the camera. But in all of judo's splendor and wisdom, they've decided to remove the referee on the mat. There's only one referee on the mat and one referee at a video click table with a radio communication assisted by a referee commission member or another referee. These are the people who will judge the fights. The rotation system is going to be implemented for them to rotate referees. I just see this as having just a little bit too much bias in it. Having only one referee on the mat and then one who is speaking to him on the radio, it's just a little bit too much bias, especially if you have someone who is trying to move up within the referee ranking system inside of a country. Say if you have a B-level ref trying to move up to the A-level ranking, and the A-level referee is whispering something in his ear to which he doesn't agree, he may just go along with it based upon the referee providing him with such information. Vice versa, if there's an A-level referee on the mat and a B-level ref is giving him some information, he may decide to override it. We have no clue about what is being said into the ear of the referee via the microphone or the radio. If they were in the chairs on the mat, we could clearly see who thought such and such was a Yoku, or who thought such a throw was a Koka, or who thought such a throw was a Waza-ari, because there would be some at least visual accountability there. Here, we don't really know what's going on. A referee could just choose to disregard that which he hears on the radio, make a call, and the match is over. I'm not really sure about the reasoning of this. Maybe they want to reduce the amount of referees they use per competition. But I'm always concerned with creating as much fairness as possible and removing the opportunity for bias or for, you don't want to say cheating, but you don't want anybody to believe or to provide that there's an element of cheating going on either. In terms of the technical side, they want to make an Ippon an Ippon. I agree with this. I mean, when I was younger and I competed in judo, I recall an Ippon had to be a really hard throw. There was none of this rolling through Ippon stuff that you see now. You see some of these rolling through Ippons, which should actually be Waza-aris, but I believe that an Ippon should definitely be an Ippon. This also gives an individual an opportunity, if he does get thrown, to get back and get into the match. See absolutely nothing wrong with this. I think an Ippon should be clear cut, and I think it should be real impact on the ground. Landing in the bridge position, this has always been considered an Ippon. So there's really no change here. I don't think it's a safety issue or a non-safety issue. They land in a bridge in wrestling all the time and everybody's okay. I just believe in our sport, you can't bridge out of an Ippon. So all situations of landing on the bridge position will be considered Ippon. Penalties. During the fight, there will be 3 Shidos, okay? There's usually 3 Shidos in the Hansoku-make. Usually you would be able to use the Shidos as scores, but now when you're giving Shidos, there are warnings, and then the 4th is a disqualification. So you can't really use the Shido in order to increase your score. Meaning you can't win by a Shido, per se. Shidos don't give any points to the other fighter. Only technical scores can give points on the scoreboard. At the end of the fight, if scoring is equal, the one with the less amount of Shidos will win. If the fight continues to go and score due to a draw, the first receiving a Shido loses, or the first scoring a technique will win. So you can actually lose a match in golden score due to Shidos, but you can't lose a match per se due to Shidos for being scores in regulation. Who knows how this is going to play out? I mean, it's clear that you can clearly understand it, but it's almost silly in terms of the reasoning. Nonetheless, we still play. Penalized with a Shido. You can be penalized with Shido by breaking the grip with 2 hands, which means that previous style that a lot of the European countries invoked, like a lot of the Uzbekistan, Russian, Mongolians, those particular people invoked where you grip with 1 hand and they break it off and come around your back. They break it off with 2 hands and come around your back. That particular sequence or series is no longer going to be able to be used. So breaking with 2 hands is not, it's not going to be allowed. If you cross grip should be followed by an immediate attack. If you grip fight or follow the grip fighting systems that Jimmy Pedro and I employ, you never cross grip without attacking. When you cross grip, you should automatically be doing a kouchi at the same time. Cross gripping kouchi and then moving to the sleeve. Attacking off the cross grip is, it's standard. Those who don't attack off the cross grip, that's really not active gripping, if you will. It's going to be very difficult for people to cross grip at the sleeve. When you cross grip at the sleeve, you have to immediately attack, which means the cross gripping sequence that Jimmy Pedro does to his ouchi, the sleeve cross grip ouchi from a lefty versus righty situation. This won't change anything. That explains the situation, but it doesn't change anything. As soon as you cross grip, more often than not, you should be attacking. I don't really see a huge change here. Not for me, not for what we teach. Or what we do. The referee should strictly penalize the contestants who do not engage in a quick Kumikata grip, or who try not to be gripped by the opponent. Listen, if you read this and you read it as no grip fighting, you are nothing short of a fool, okay? Because this does not say no grip fighting. What it says is the referee should strictly penalize the contestants who do not engage in quick Kumikata. Here's what you need to understand. Grip fighting has not lessened any. Grip fighting has become more important. You have to be more efficient and you have to be expedient in your grip fighting, which means you need to clearly understand hand placement, which is number 1. Number 2, you need to clearly understand that every situation in which you grip has to have a throw with the sequence. If you're fighting righty versus righty and your sequence is left, right, left with your hands, you need to be able to attack as soon as you get your left hand on. You need to have attacks when your right hand is on, and you need to have attacks when you transfer to the sleeve. You need to have bullets for your gun. I say this all the time. Your bullets are your throws. Your gun is your gripping sequence. Once you invoke your gripping sequence, you need to be able to shoot and fire from everywhere along that sequence. In this type of style of Kumikata, it is important to never reach with the incorrect hand first. You have to understand grip fighting, and you must understand the distance game as it pertains to gripping. Tachi-waza will be more important in this game. Understanding how to grip both of the hands and then do ko-uchi. These things are going to be critically important. Please do not think that this is not a grip fighting game. If you think that, you're silly. You got to be silly. People say, "Oh, there's no more grip fighting. Good, we could just do judo." Listen. You're an ass, and I'll just say it like that. Listen, you have to be able to get your hands into position and into place quickly. And are you going to be able to block? Of course you're going to be able to block. You got to slap the hands real quick. You got to move. You got to be able to roll your shoulder. You have to know how to grip fight. Anytime that you have to reach out and grab the gi, you are grip fighting. And once you have both hands on the gi, there are still grip fighting movements which occur then. How to shrug your shoulders, how to pop a grip off without using your hands. These things are important. If you don't know this stuff, man, you're dead in the water before you start. The other thing, to hug an opponent for a throw is illegal. I don't have any problem with that. They just turned judo into gi Greco-Roman wrestling. That's what it is. I have no problem with it. I coach. It doesn't matter to me. You get penalized with Hansaku-make for all attacks or blocking with one or two hands, or with one arm or two arms below the belt. This, in my opinion, is a great rule. I don't necessarily like the rule, but I believe it's a great rule. Why? Because if you want to encourage throwing, then in order to encourage throwing, you need to remove all the aversive stimulus from throwing. If I had somebody bent over before in the previous rules, and they were bent over and they were getting ready to get a Shido, there would be no reason for me to take the risk to attack. If I take the risk to attack, I go from low risk to, or no risk, from opening myself up to risk by attacking. If I have someone benched or crunched over under the old rules, there's no reason for me to move from no risk to risk by attacking. I can just stay where I am, get the person to Shido, and keep it moving and get a score. The reason why it was risky is because the person can grab the legs and they can counter with Teguruma. Now, if you can't counter and I have you out-gripped, I might as well throw, because you can't grab my legs. If I have you out-gripped and you can't use two hands to peel off my grip that's over top of your back, man, you're in trouble. You're going to either eat the Shido, or you're going to get thrown for Ippon. What I'm interested in is this. When does Waza begin? Because sometimes in order to stop a throw, you'll take a knee, but some people will run you over with Osoto anyway. If I'm out-gripped really bad, I'll take a knee and then grab the leg. But once I take a knee, I'm no longer doing Tachi-waza anymore. But does that mean that all attacks are blocking with one or two hands or with one or two arms below the belt? It says in Tachi-waza. Once I hit the mat, I'm in Waza. So that means I take the penalty and then go down in Waza and grab the leg. Here's why I say this. Some of you who watch international judo, you know that sometimes you get bent over and you fall down to your knee for a moment. If the person runs you over with Osoto and you go to your back, that's the Ippon. Or worse, a best case Waza-ari under these new rules. Man, if I'm getting out-gripped and I paid $1,200 to fight in Europe or in Hungary somewhere, plus, you know, hotel and food, etc. And if I get out gripped, I'm going to take a knee and I'm going to grab your pant leg and I'm going to take the Shido. Assuming that once I hit the ground, I'm in Waza. I would like to see how this will play out. The reason why I'm talking about this is because coaches always have to find a way to work around the rules to make sure that their players have the best option possible. If my player gets out-gripped, I'm not going to accept the fact that he got out-gripped on an exchange and he should go home. No. If he got out-gripped, he should go down best he can, take a knee, grab the pant leg, and then fight for another day. Or if he's getting out-gripped real bad, pop both hands off. Pop off the grip with both hands. Take the Shido. And then fight for another day. But if I pop off the grip with both hands and I get a Shido, that Shido doesn't give you any points. But it does stop me from going home right away. Osaekomi, Kansetu-waza and Shime-waza. This will continue also outside of the contest area. I love this rule. I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu player and, well, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy. I still consider myself to be a judo player per se, if you will. I like this rule. It really pisses me off when you get caught in a choke or something like that and you think you can go out of bounds. You'll still be able to do that, but not with Osaekomi. Okay? If you're caught in the pin, you need to get out the pin and you need to learn how to get out of the pin. This will develop Waza. It will. What they're telling me from this rule is that they want to see more Waza, or they want to see the development of Waza. Because if you're caught in a pin, you need to learn how to get out of that pin. And once you get out of that pin, I believe that if you continue to be active and aggressive in terms of attacking, that the referees will give you some time. Because right now, once you go out of bounds, the clock keeps running. Osaekomi scores at 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and 20 seconds. So it's 10 seconds for the Yoku, 15 seconds for the Waza-ari, and 20 seconds for the Ippon. Okay? And the Kansetu-waza and Shime-waza, initiated in the contest area and recognized as being effective to the opponent, can be maintained even if the contestants are outside the contest area. Love this rule, okay? Love it. Just read it clearly here. Love it. If I catch you in an armbar, you can't get out of the area. In my opinion, if I got you in an armbar and you stand up, they should still allow that. In my opinion, if it's initiated inside the contest area and recognized as being effective, they should leave it. I believe that Judo really needs to put more of an emphasis on their Waza. I love this rule. From cadets to under 18, they can start doing arm bars. There's absolutely nothing dangerous about doing arm bars if they're practiced effectively. You can't become good at arm bars when you start doing them at 16, 17. I agree with this. That means the 14-year-olds are doing arm bars, which means they can start practicing submissions at the age 11, 12, 10, etc. My son does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well as Judo. He's 6. They start arm bars as soon as he got there. Absolutely fantastic. This is great for the development of Judo. When entering the tatami area, fighters should walk into the entrance of the contest area at the same time and bow to each other in the contest area. Great. All right. The contestants must not shake hands before the start of the contest. Foolish. Okay. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's the Western influence. But listen, the right hand to fellowship or shaking hands is a well-known greeting all across the world. It's what you do in every competition. If you don't shake hands, the contestants must not shake hands before the start of the contest. Fine. I see people going out there doing a fist bump. Okay, that's just what it is. If they stop that, then I guess as soon as you start the match, you need to be ready to go. I guess they want people to be more aggressive, but I don't know what type of difference that makes. Here's what I want to say as I finish. that I really like this set of rules, to be honest with you. I think it's going to make the fighting more aggressive. I think there's a premium on grip fighting in terms of being systematic with your gripping. I think there's a huge premium on it, especially since we've been practicing it in practice. You have to be able to get your hand on the gi first. I trained under 1984 Olympic bronze medalist Eddie Liddy. I trained with Jimmy Pedro, and the rules of gripping still apply here. But more so now, you must get your hands on the gi first and control the tempo. If you think that there's no grip fighting here, that's not true. Even with two hands on the gi, there are grip fighting movements that some of you may not know. How to move the hand up and down the gi, how to shrug the gi, make it longer, shorter. Listen, I came up with a product with Jimmy Pedro called Underground Grip Fighting Secrets, and all that stuff is still in there. All the stuff about gripping with two hands is in there. Why? Because it's important. And we cover the spectrum of grip fighting, no matter if you're a sambo player, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or Judo. New rules, old rules, doesn't matter. The concept is the same, and the theory behind why we grip the way that we grip is the same. That doesn't change. I was on the phone with the president of the Bahamian Judo Federation today. He said he was so thankful that we have a grip fighting system in, because this actually allows the countries that are smaller to get an opportunity to catch up, because they've removed all the variability out of the game. You don't have to worry about Morote guard. You don't have to worry about leg pickups. You don't have to worry about katagurumi. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. They removed all the stuff that you would have to learn. They removed it. All you have to do now is, I don't even like to call it judo per se. All you have to do right now is quote unquote judo. But this really isn't judo. To call this judo is... This is the bastardization of judo. This isn't really judo. This is, I don't know what you call this. This is it's a sport. I mean, it's a gi grabbing throwing sport deal, and that's what it is. Because judo involves, I mean, real Budo style judo involves, gripping, leg locks, kani basami, flying scissors, flying arm bars, all type of stuff. I mean, this is what it is. This is sport judo, and I still like it. I still find it exciting, and I think there's going to be more Ippons than before, but that's because you're going to be at a disadvantage. If you get out-gripped early, you're going home, and that's just what it is. Enjoy the judo, my friends.